leaders in the field of how to capitalize on that content. One of the most powerful technologies we use is called geofencing. What is it? We're able to use smartphone and satellite technology to draw a virtual fence around a business. It could be a competitor's location or a venue where your customers frequent, or it could even be your own business. Once someone enters a geofence, we target them with interest-based ads to which we're pretty certain they'll be drawn. And the best part is, we use their smartphone's map feature to direct them to your location. For example, for one client in North Carolina, we sent them 486 new customers in the month of August. That's just for 1 month. We made them a lot of money, and we could do the same for you. 486 new clients next month, or job applicants. Let's set up a quick consult to discover what Cullari Media can do for you.
Welcome, everyone, to Together We Serve TV show. So excited to have you here. So excited you join us. As you know, this is about serving, but doing it as a community, doing it together. And you just saw a video. I am so fired up to have these two on this show because what you saw was technology that a lot of people don't know about. But I know, I've heard about it years ago when I met these two people. They're not a couple, but business partners. I was blown away. I had to have them on my TV show because what you're going to learn today is going to be a game changer. Small, medium, large, probably doesn't matter, but especially small businesses and medium-sized business, which I love helping. This will help you market much better. And 486 potential customers. I want you to think about that as you listen to this show and bring your questions in, because think about if you had 486 customers in July. How would your business go? So I want to welcome in Barbara and Ernesto to Together We Serve. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Steve, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
We're so excited.
We're happy to be hanging out with you on a Friday.
Yes.
It's happy hour. It's Together We Serve happy hour.
Happy hour is cool. I think there's some people out there probably happy hour as well, even our international folks. I get excited about this, and some people, you get so excited, but marketing is such a big important part, especially if you're small, medium-sized business. How are you changing the game with that?
We're focusing on advertising that actually results in someone showing up at your store or converting online. A lot of marketing and advertising companies have got it in your head that, oh, it's okay. Like, you've gotten an X amount of impressions, you're building brand equity. But honestly, brand equity is not paying your mortgage. It's not paying your commercial lease. It's not paying for your health insurance. So we focus on geofencing. And geofencing, we found, I've been doing marketing and advertising for a very long time. It's the only way you can accurately measure a return on investment, because people either show up or they don't. People either download your app or sign up for your service online or they don't, which is why we're 100% in on geofencing.
And it's interesting, Ernesto and Barbara, it's almost too good to be true. When I first heard about years ago, a company was doing it. I think they've stopped doing it. I know they didn't do it right. How do you answer that? And they go, Barbara, yeah, that sounds great. 486 customers. I don't have to do much. Well, how do you answer that?
Well, I think we answer it by saying that it's satellite verified, and not anyone can say that. When they see your advertisement, we actually follow them. They're anonymized. They don't know your name. But we follow them for a 90-day campaign. And in that 90-day campaign, if they walk into your establishment, the satellite pings us and lets us know that a verified satellite visit was at that moment pinged. So we know what kind of ad that they watched, what app that they saw it on. So it's all certified by the satellite, and not any advertisement can say that.
Yeah, that's really cool because it's unique and different. And we all need to be thinking outside the box when it comes to marketing. Creativity is always, when I talk to marketers, especially guys that make millions of dollars a year, being creative is important. And that's what I think this does. But what is, somebody says, yeah, that all sounds good, I don't want you to tell you the price, but is this affordable?
Unfortunately, we made it affordable for everyone.
We did a
Look,
good job.
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm trying to buy a new house here. And it's it's one paycheck at a time. But we could easily be working with large corporations and things like that, and rightfully we should. But Barbara and I have been able to set this up so that a small business, a startup, can do that. So if you have $500, if you have $1,000 to commit to an ad spend, this is something that you and your small business can do. And interestingly, we work with regional companies, that have 30 locations. We work with companies that have as little as one location and even no locations, and they're interested in doing online conversions. $1,000 ad spend serves all the above. So I'll give you an example. The opening video that you played, the funny thing is Barbara and I were just friends then. We weren't business partners. And she was like consulting me on making that video. So the interesting part is we used to be, it was Cullari Media, and then Barbara and I joined forces, and now we're Cullari and Wardell. But so that client for that video where we sent them 480 customers in the month of August, I believe that was August of 2021 or August of 2022, we got them up, just that client alone, up to 1,000 GPS satellite verified visits a month across their 30 stores in the Carolinas. So if you imagine a business, their particular business was something like $12 a visit, you can imagine how their bottom line was greatly impacted by our campaigns.
Yes, they opened more stores.
Indeed, yeah, they opened more stores.
Amen. You're talking my language. Now, I want to preface all this if people are listening. This is a brick and mortar play. This is not an online play, correct? Online
Yes.
coach can't utilize, and that's okay because I think there's 100 million small businesses in the United States. I don't know, millions, and probably half meet up. What's the number?
Well, currently 2 in 5 people plan on opening a small business. So regardless of how many there are now, during COVID, we lost 1 in 3. 2 in 5 are currently thinking of opening one. So geofencing, really, I mean, we could be doing all different sorts of things. I've been a professional songwriter in my life, did all sorts of, as a commercial photographer and writer, all sorts of campaigns. But this is the one that we believe, this is the methodology we believe in, because as small business owners ourselves, we see the impact. And now Barbara and I are in 3 countries. We're in the US, Canada, and we're the only geofencing ad agency in Australia.
Yay!
That was great.
Crowd screaming, yelling.
It goes wild here on Friday.
Hey, it's Friday. You gotta liven it up.
I think they're gonna do things too, like they're gonna drum that roll too. So we got all kinds of things happening in the background here. And I wanted to preface that because I do have a lot of online people, but I do also have a lot of people. And you said a great point about startup. I'm thinking as you're both talking, like, what a great way to start a business, a brick and mortar. Come to you guys. You're my first marketing play. And you're bringing hundreds of people my first month of my laundromat, which is what you work with, or restaurant. I mean, I used to run a restaurant. If you brought me 100 people that first month, plus my network, I'd never see my family, but that's okay.
Yeah, we did a mezcal tasting. I think we told you this when we were first talking to you for Electrico Mezcal. We partnered with a local restaurant in Asbury Park, and during the first month, we actually did send them 100 people to come and try the mezcal. So yeah, it's very impactful. It was great it was a great partnership with Electrico Mezcal, and it was a great partnership with the restaurant that we worked with in Asbury Park.
And that's you're bringing up a great point, Ernesto. There's so many ways to work this. I'm thinking, hey, I'm having a golf tournament for a foundation, for a nonprofit. Geofence the golf course, and I can have information about that tournament and about the nonprofit that will pop up. Let's get into the technology here in a second. That will pop up and go, I'd like to play golf. Oh, that's for Cancer Society. Am I thinking the right way here with how this works?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We can do any kind of event, a Super Bowl event, any kind of event to bring, say, there's a big event going on in, say, Texas, and you decide all those businesses want to get that area, that business coming in. We can geofence everyone in that area that's on apps and, send them an ad for that business and bring them in. It's such a technology that's so precise. We can target that whole area.
Yeah. What's the distance in the fence? Because I'm thinking a golf course is big, or restaurant smaller. But how does that work? Can I control my fence, or is it all set in stone?
So we hand draw a lot of our geofences. So we draw them by hand. There's an algorithm that Barbara and I employ for different kinds of businesses. So, for example, if you're a spirits brand, you're a high-end tequila, a mezcal, and you're looking to let other high-end stores know about your product, we can geofence their customers, and we can geofence those establishments. We can draw those fences quite precisely. But when you're, say you're a church and you're looking to find people who, and say your church focuses on addiction, you're able to geofence liquor stores. You can do a radius of a liquor store. There's different things you can do. You can make them highly precise, or you can draw a radius. And those are all custom done. There's also a difference between geofencing and geotargeting. Geotargeting is taking a location and adding demographic information on top of it and targeting consumers that way. And geofencing is highly precise, and that is accurate up to about 3 feet or less, or give or take a little bit. And those are very precise, often hand-drawn fences.
Okay, let me recap this then. So you see in the grocery stores, it's usually realtors or insurance agents that put their picture on the grocery cart. And, you're throwing your groceries. You never see it because it's covered. Whatever. I mean, it probably works. That's
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm a realtor here in San Jose where I live, I could geofence different grocery stores that will pop up my realtor information.
Well, we have access to the MLS, so we're actually able to do open houses and things like that. But if you wanted to do demographic targeting, then certainly you could, if you were a realtor or a broker or a mortgage broker, you could onlay demographic information with location information. So it's you either can be super precise and go location only, or you can use an alternate tactic, which is called geotargeting. And that's when you're looking at demographic information, banking information, maybe perhaps what language you speak, and then you're coupling it with, say, a radius around a town or a radius around a building. It could be 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles. It could be an entire, marketing area. So, for example, if you need the whole tri-state area, if you're a large car dealership or a hospital system.
We also did a management company. They had some townhouses that needed to be rented, and we did a whole geofence on that and got them all rented out for them.
Property managers, they've got rent
Yes.
places that are available. You guys,
HC back.
yeah, I mean, we go on and on. Hey, by the way, if you have questions, you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can pop in. There's a live chat there. Put your questions and I'll pull them up, because I'm sure if you're listening, you got a lot of questions like I do. I forgot all about this, what you're doing here, being targeting, because that's huge. And for the price point, I mean, a realtor gets, let's use the 480 rule that you story. I got 480, potential clients in a month, and just use 5%. That's two clients I get. It's it's thousands of dollars, right?
Hey,
Sure.
if you upsell them too when they come in, I mean, that's up to you. Work it.
So
Keep that customer.
And it's important to know the value of a new client. So, if you're a slip and fall attorney, then, and that some of your awards are, 6 figures plus, than spending $1,000, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month to gain 5 clients a year is not a bad business model. But I want to touch on why Barbara and I started working together. During COVID, a third of small businesses shut down, and it really upset us. It really bothered us, and we got angry about it. And I was running my business, which is mostly geofencing and commercial photography. And Barbara and I decided to partner up because it's sort of like a mission of ours, which is why we took this technology that Chipotle was using during COVID to increase its curbside business. Burger King was using it to target McDonald's and increase use of its app and its in-store business. And we saw what they were doing. We were already doing it. I was already, there was upheaval in the laundry industry because, I'm a new actor in the industry. And we completely turned that industry upside down when Barbara and I started joining forces. But we wanted to take that technology, and because of what it did, COVID did to us, we wanted to make it accessible to as many businesses as possible, not just the big businesses.
This is why they're on the show. Together we serve, not together we steal. Together we're thieves.
Pirates.
Pirates. Yeah, well, I
maybe Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's probably a better fit. I love backstories of companies, and Ernesto, in your voice, I can hear the anger.
Yeah,
because it's not right. Those people, it affected so many lives, and people, as we know, took the big step of suicide. I'm not going to hide that. That's happened. I've heard stories. And I love what you're doing. That's why I support you 100%. I always like to do this with technology, and you guys have probably heard it. What's the downside? What could go wrong? Or, because not everything's perfect. You guys know that. But what wouldn't be a good fit for this?
Do you want to talk about what they did in Australia? Barbara will tell you the downside.
Yeah.
So in Australia, we had broken into the market. It was our first campaign into it, and Australia has different rules, right? Because Australia only used our technology of the geofence with the satellites to actually keep people in their homes during COVID. It's horrible. Like, that's what they did with this. They didn't have this technology for marketing or growing anything. It was to keep them in their homes. If they were on the beach, they were geo-targeting them and then getting them arrested. That is sad that it came down to that. Anyway, so when we broke into the market, and we have a listening device that we have to listen to see where the cell phones are. We do a whole thing before we go in there, and we started a whole campaign for this one location. They had a couple. How many locations did they have?
I think they had like 7.
Yeah, I think it was 7 locations. And we started first. It was a little shaky because the grounds there was very different. It's kind of like the Pacific West for us, right? Where there's water and
everybody lives on the coast.
Yeah, and the terrain not always the same. Even if it's a close proximity of a town, it could be a whole
to get there. It could be it's kind of like Western,
that's
it's
what
like
it
California.
No, but like Washington State, something like that, where their terrain is. It looks close, but it really isn't. If you have to drive there, because you have to go over a mountain or maybe under in a valley or something. So we had to learn the terrain.
With a kangaroo.
Yeah, well, that too, and maybe a koala bear. But koala bears are cute.
Yeah, they're cool. But those kangaroos are jerks. Imagine fist fighting a kangaroo.
I don't know. Anyway, so we finally started breaking ground. We did a lot to figure out how to get their campaign going, because it was a trial and error for us to go into another country. But we gave them a really good deal to break in and figure out the terrain. And we were doing so well with them until they got a marketing agency that tried to convince them that this technology doesn't work, and she wanted to do just ads. And we just started breaking ground. They didn't even we only went for the what's the campaign?
I think it was 90 days, but we did really well in 90 days.
We did, and it was spread out, and it worked really well, and we could prove it. but I don't know. So we got another customer there, and we've been just breaking ground ever since.
The rest is history.
But as it is there is trials and errors to this.
And the government is the only one who uses it malevolently.
Yeah.
I did really well in that word.
Yes, you
I've
did.
been
You finally got
struggling
it.
for weeks trying to say malevolent, but
I think.
no, we're good.
Okay.
So really, it's only the government that abuses this. Ad agencies, we have rules we have to follow. Our ads are cleared through compliance. So yeah, there's a lot regulating ad agencies.
Told you. Something happened.
Nope.
I'm not sure if we're still on.
I think we're still on. I think we're good.
You think we're good? Should we just talk amongst ourselves?
I think so.
Okay. We can try.
Let's see. Active. Let's ask.
So.
It says we're still live.
We are live. Hey everyone, are we live?
Maybe he got booted off his own signal. But as long as we're live, I mean, we can keep talking.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
How are you?
How much did you hear?
Start over again because I didn't hear. Okay, I got an unstable connection, but you keep.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. So Barbara and I were saying that the only downside is that countries have been using geofencing and geotargeting to police their citizens. So they're tracking your mobile device, and they're limiting during COVID. If they found you on the beach, they were locking you up in Australia and actually in New Zealand as well. It was really anti-democratic. It was awful. But in terms of advertising, we anonymize everyone's device. So we don't know that it's Steve, Barbara, or Ernesto. We just know that you walked into a geofence. We anonymize your device. Location is indicative of the kinds of things that you're interested in. So if you walk into
a Mercedes dealership,
yeah,
and you're looking for a car, we know that you want an upscale car. But if you're online scrolling for maybe a Mercedes or a Lamborghini,
I looked at a $500,000 sailboat today.
Oh, you did?
I did. And as you know, that's a fantasy right now.
It is a fantasy, but that doesn't mean it can't be.
True, but today it is. I need to buy a house.
He's
first.
Manifesting soon.
No, I don't believe in manifesting. I believe in prayer.
Well,
Well,
I think it's like this.
Yes.
I think it's magic.
See, it just granted.
I think it's magic. Let's get that back up. Well, I'm glad we reconnected. Real quick before we take our break, how important is marketing for a small business?
100%. You need to market, whether or not you are opening right away or you have been open. You have to have a budget, and you have that marketing doesn't matter. You have to get your name. You have to get name recognition. You have to get people to know who you are. It's not I open and they will come. Doesn't happen. Not in this day and age.
Yeah, amen. I love that. And it's a question that everybody hears, but you got to hear it over and over again, because I talked to so many people starting up. Oh, I'm going to save money because I can't pay for marketing right now. That's your lifeblood. If you're in a people asset business, if you're not bringing people in, you're not making any money. No matter what you're doing, right?
Absolutely, 100%. You have to market. You have to be known. Even if you were in business 20 years, you still have to market. It's so important. Things change, as you know, every day, and it changes so quickly. It's not the same like years ago. I mean, we're down in the Jersey Shore, and we had some of our favorite places to get food, to go get, ice cream, all closed because of this, because they couldn't handle it. And, it's a shame right now because most of the restaurants are closing now. Even the major chains can't stay open. It's just they're just not bringing in enough. And the food inflation right now, you have to bring in more people, and you have to spend that money to bring them in.
Agreed.
Or you raise your prices, and now a burger is $18.
No, that's
$15,
I think that's kind of what it is now.
Yeah, it
At
is.
Burger King. You mean at Burger King?
Oh, it was. Oh, I found out it was I don't go to Burger King or McDonald's, but it was $17 for a meal.
Somebody told me a Happy Meal they went to. I don't eat that either. And they paid $9.99 for a Happy Meal. He goes, I know 2 or 3 years ago it was $3.45 or $3.50 or $3.90 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
But
that's very true.
I thought it was
That's very true.
$1.99.
That was in the 80s.
Just
The last
the-
time you ate
That's-
garbage.
that's
The
probably
last
what
time
the
you ate
kids
unhealthy
say.
food, it was that much.
Well, that's the last time she's been there, which is a good thing because
That's
it's probably
Not a
so
fast
good.
food. And Ernesto and I really love a really good meal.
Yeah.
That's one of our things. We have a lot of things that we like, and one of them is a really good meal.
Oh, good. We're
It's
gonna
in
get
our
out.
bylaws.
It's
in our corporate
that and have
bylaws.
fun.
I've got a great question for you on the next side of it that you're both going to love. I want you
Okay.
to answer. Let's take a break. We're going to come back and talk about how this works, the journey of a client, what they do, and what the person with the phone does. Because I'm sure people are thinking, well, how's it work? Are you going to be bothering me? And we'll get into all that. But I'll let you guys go get a glass of water. Hey, audience, we'll be right back. These two are spectacular. They're going to blow your head off even more on the next segment. We'll see you in
The
about
magic.
4 or 5 minutes. Yes, let's do that. Not that. Let's do this.
There you
magic.
go.
We are back. Together we serve. A little beat. I want to thank Ernesto. He chose that song, and I was thinking a little bit. I'm not a big music guy. He is, so I'm glad he chose that. You can see on the first segment, these guys are knocking it out of the park. If you have a brick and mortar space, you have an event, you have a political aspirant, whatever that is, this is a way to go, and your pocketbook's not going to be what's the word I want to use? You're not going to spend a lot of your pocketbook. And that's powerful because, as Barbara said so well, marketing is so important. And if you're not doing it, could be issues. So let's bring them back. Ernesto and Barbara, welcome back.
Yay.
Thanks, Steve.
We're so excited. So much fun the first segment.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Yeah, I am too. And so what a powerful message and technology. Barbara, I want to ask you, what's one tip, because you've been in marketing, as well as Ernesto, that you give the audience that have, whether online or brick and mortar, what's one of your favorite tips for marketing?
I think the first thing is to know, I think when you're thinking about running a business or opening a business, one, you have to have really deep and see the passion you have, because you're going to work hard. You're going to work harder than you ever did for somebody else in the business world. You're going to work really hard for yourself. So make sure that is your passion and you're not doing it just for money. And I think that's so important. You want to serve your customers like you would want someone to serve you. And I think that's so important, because if you're in it just for the dollars, which yes, you need the dollars, it's very important, but I think those thank you notes are your dollars.
Yeah, and Ernesto needs that boat. So there's a couple of reasons why.
Yes, he does have a list.
It was a 35-foot Beneteau. It was gorgeous.
I have a list too. So I'm with you side by
I'm
side.
like, do I buy a house first? Do I buy my boat? Like, what do I got to do?
Well, I can answer
I
that.
I know I can live on the boat.
There you go. You just answered it. But what I love what you said, Barbara, about hard work, because we want to forget that. People that jump into a business and go, I'm just going to set it and forget it. That was that Ron guy way back in the day. That's not what business is about. And anything that helps you not have to work as hard and spend as much time like this, it's a game changer. So like I said,
smart.
Go ahead.
Work smart. Very, yep.
There you go. I love it.
Time versus, everything has to be time versus money. If it's going to cost you more money to get it done and less money to serve it out so you can do something else, you have to be smart enough to make sure that that's the decisions you make. Because on our end, I'm always looking at how to build our foundation strong. It's very important to grow that business on a strong foundation and not just throw, I know this spaghetti on the wall until something sticks, but not when you're first starting your business. You got the foundation. You have to make sure that this is your passion. This is something that you really believe in, because no one's going to feel that passion as well as you serving it to other people and showing them how you can help them. Because it's so important when you're growing a business, because if you help somebody else grow, they grow too. And I think that's the best way to do it. It's not only foundation with your finances, your foundation, it's your moral foundation, it's your spiritual foundation, and it's also the people that you're helping build up as well.
Yeah, that's so well said. Thank you. That is, audience, that's $1 million tip right there. So take it. You'll get their contact info after. I would suggest to reach out and talk to them, anybody listening. So let's jump into the journey, two sides of it. So I'm a client. I have a real estate office. I want to start use geofencing. Let's start there. How do we start the journey?
So Barbara and I take a very unique approach to advertising. So the first thing we're going to do is understand the natural flow to your office or to your neighborhood. So if you have an office in, let's say, downtown Myrtle Beach, and we would then conduct a foot traffic study just to get an understanding of the kind of people that go to that neighborhood. You can use the census and you can use things like that to understand the overall demographic. But really we like to get very precise. So we're going to run a mobile foot traffic study of your community first. We're really going to understand the neighborhood that you're in. We're going to understand who these people are, that have these mobile devices. We can actually look at where someone has been a half hour before they've been to your retail block or to your office. We could look at where people have been a half hour after visiting your retail block or your office. So we try to get a very granular look. This is part of your free consultation. Then, of course, we ask probing questions to better understand who it is that you're trying to reach, whether you're in real estate, whether you're orthopedic surgeon, whether you sell jewelry or cars, or you're a laundromat. We really need to understand the persona of the person that you're communicating to. And we do it on a very holistic way on a ground level.
Very cool. And I was thinking as you're talking, Ernesto, if I have, especially summertime now, there's all these wine festivals and flea markets.
And you're not inviting us? Come on now. I don't know.
Come on down.
That's great.
We love festivals,
Yeah,
especially wine festivals.
Make it a mezcal festival and I'll fly there.
Oh, my wife will be standing right next to you. And I'd like to go too. But it's, powerful because, I sell in fruit. And I do use this geofencing because, I'm a small business and it's affordable. I can really tell people when I'm going to be there, at what time and what days. You can't do that with traditional marketing unless you do social media, but then you get lost as the feed goes through. Oh, there it is. It's gone. There you are, as people traveling through this fence can know all this, right?
Well, yeah, because you get a landing page. When you see an ad, you'll see a landing page, and I'll tell you about the business and where they're located with their address, phone number, and a GPS map that you could actually click and take you there.
Yeah, that's right. So, someone sees our ad, someone sees our TV commercial. They're led to a landing page. If it's a TV commercial on, you're watching
Connect
Hulu.
TV. Oh yeah, we have to mention that because we didn't tell them last time either.
Yeah, so if you're watching, I love Shogun. It's an awesome show based on a novel.
Yes, he does, but he likes Hitman better.
Hitman, I'll tell him. I'll tell him that story later. So, so on these, and I have all the cheap subscriptions. So it's like for the $9.95 Hulu plan, you have to watch a minute of ad before the show comes on. So that's a great time for your business to target someone. And so we do all this research. We send your ads out. They're led to a landing page. Landing page has a map that leads them to your store. And then the satellite records a visit.
Or to wherever you're having your event at.
Yes.
But your ad doesn't go on Hulu. I'm not doing that advertisement there. You're just using that example, right?
No. Your ad goes on Hulu.
You can have an ad go on here. Yeah, we can do with our targeting. We can put that in one of our verticals for your advertising, and actually put you on a Hulu, one of the Hulu televisions. So while you're watching a program, you actually can't scroll. You have to see it.
Yes,
it's
free roll. Yeah. So you can't escape
we
it.
get
That's why
full
we love
attention. That's why we've added it to our marketing with the geofencing and the geo-targeting, because we found sometimes a combination if new business needs name recognition.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have me on name recognition.
I know.
You complete me.
We work really well together,
she
though.
also,
sometimes
she also pays
so
me.
obvious.
She controls our money, so I have to be
smart woman.
Nice.
It's got to be really nice. It's Friday. I don't want to go out there with no money.
Yeah, this is huge, guys. This is big because I know that advertising's growing every month. The Hulu, all the streaming, because everybody's on it. So are you telling me I could buy a package from you and that includes Hulu? Or I'm sure there's an upcharge to that, right?
We just specify, it's there's not an upcharge. It all fits within the same budget. But do you mind putting the camera on me? Because I want to stand on my soapbox really quick. I want to stand on my
look at him.
I have a soapbox to stand on. A few years ago, I would say about a decade ago, Instagram and Facebook were really great platforms. we were growing with technology similar to what we're using in geofencing now. We were growing organic pages on Instagram, about 1,000 organic followers in niche a month. So if you look at Hint Beauty, the original Suit Man, if you look at Otaru Baby, we built these pages organically. But in their greed, Meta, which acquired Instagram, in their greed, they took what these were open, vibrant algorithms, and they locked it down. And ever since then, Facebook always, and so does Google, always changes the algorithm so that you need to spend more and more and more to place your ad. And worse, they're very politically motivated. So if you don't believe a certain way on a certain issue, they're going to block your ad. We are not blocked. We are outside of walled gardens. We don't care what, as long as what you're saying is moral and ethical and you're selling something of value that contributes to the world and society, we'll advertise for you. But believe me, if you're at the whim of Facebook, Instagram, and Google, your days are numbered.
Well, that's a soapbox because audience, I'm going to tell you, and people listening to the recording, reach out to them. If I had a brick and mortar, I would hire you right now because streaming is growing and being localized and showing up in a Hoodoo ad. Think of a fruits vendor. Hey, I'm going to be at XYZ flea market at 2:00. I've got fresh fruit. Da 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 da.
Lunch trucks. You just made me think. Lunch trucks are great. Great business.
Another great one. Geofencing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being included in the package. Okay, I don't like to promote like this, but you guys need to reach out and talk to them because that's a game changer.
You want to own your relationship with your clients, and when you're using platforms where they're the gatekeeper, you don't own anything. So if you are a lunch truck, you really want to own even more than the locations that you're going to do an event at. You really want to own that business. So what's the best way to do it? It's to target your customers. And there's many ways to do it. You don't need to do geofencing. We just love it because it's so effective. But, when someone comes to your lunch truck, have them sign up for your email so that they get email updates from you. We can help you do that in terms of doing it through geofencing, but you actually don't need us to do it. But what you do need is to own the relationship with each one of your customers yourself.
Also,
Go ahead, Barbara. Go ahead, Barbara.
Not only do you have to own your relationship with your customers, but you have to own your websites and stuff like that as well. It's very important that you own it because when you don't, you're at the mercy of anyone who is owning that website on you. And if you leave them, you don't get that website. So just remember that.
These two are genius again, audience. And I'll tell you a story why. I left, we had a health club and we sold and I was doing nothing. And one of our members reached out and said, hey, why don't you go help run this restaurant? I go, I know nothing about restaurants. I had to shuck oysters. I learned how to do it. But, oysters are great.
I got a tip. Remind me after you finish. Sorry.
No problem. So what I did was I started collecting emails. This is back in 2003, 21 years ago. And I would send an email every Monday. Our specials are tilapia, lobster, and whatever, salmon, let's say. We went from 10 people a week to we were full Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because people are like, hey, thank you for the email. I want to come in for the salmon, or I want to come in for the lobster, or whatever. That's what you're saying now more with tech instead of me doing it archaically. The geofencing go, hey, come to my restaurant. We're going to have fresh king salmon today. Oh my God, this is so cool. Go ahead, tell your story, Barbara.
So one of the times that we were working, Ernesto went to get oysters, and he brought them back, and he had gloves on, and he was chucking them, and oh my God, it took him forever, but he did them all.
45
minutes to chuck all of them. I forgot, how many did you buy?
40,
right? It was anyway. So like a couple of weeks ago, I was watching. I don't know if it was on Facebook or it was on TV, but they were using dry ice over the oysters, so it freezes them when they thaw. It's just like this to open and you can serve.
What a great tip, man. Where were you 21 years ago?
I know. He goes, that way you do a whole bunch of them at once. I thought that way.
Yeah.
I had to tell Ernesto because I watched him chuck
I was
40.
like, get the heck out of here. Could have taken me 10 minutes.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm going to move this around a little bit because I'm having fun. And I'm going to do this because you guys are awesome. Where is it? Come on back to. Yeah, we got to do it. We're coming close to the end here. First thing, how can people get a hold of you? I know I've got the website scrolling across, but what are other ways that people can find out more about this?
Well, the first one is cullarimedia.com, Cullari media, media.com. Ernesto, at Ernesto Cullari on Instagram.
That's pretty much it. I mean, we're easy to find. If you just Google, Ernesto and Barbara geofencing, a lot of our stuff comes up.
Yeah, we're starting to put more on YouTube as well.
There's a lot of media out there that
we're starting
done,
to.
so.
We've been just so busy trying to. We started at word of mouth, so our business started mainly just word of mouth until the first time we were asked to be on a podcast, and ever since then,
it's a lot like alien technology. Geofencing is not widely used, and it's mainly because if you think about it. Oh, if you have a Facebook account, you can set up a Facebook ad account. Oh, if you have a Gmail, you can set up a Google ad account. So, and also geofencing requires a lot of data and explanation.
Because
that's very
most
true.
people don't really understand it. I remember when we first were explaining it, and some people didn't even get like some of the technical stuff. I said it's like invisible fence, but we let you in instead of not letting you out.
The invisible fence for dogs. It's like how they won't leave that fence. It's very similar. Someone walks into one of our geofences, we can capture their device, and despite how people set different privacy settings on your phone, if you have the weather app open, we're going to send you an ad, and it's generally not going to be a pain in the neck because we're only sending you ads that you're actually interested in. So if you go to a jewelry store and you're in the market for an engagement ring, or if you're in a sporting goods store because you want to buy tennis balls and tennis rackets, whatever, if you're in a really good restaurant, you like only other really good restaurants, we're sending you ads for things that you're interested in. And Barbara and I, we tend to only work, we only work with people we like. We only work with products we like. We only do things that we believe in. So if you get an ad from us, we promise you'll like it.
And it's not, we didn't cover this, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So from the user end, the guy with the cell phone or the girl with the cell phone, it's not cumbersome. It's not like they're going to get all these notifications. How does it work on that end when I walk through the fence?
So when they walk through the fence and they're on an app, because we're outside the Google, Instagram universe. Actually, it's like a walled garden because you're only in that little bit. We're in the wide web, all the apps. So you walk into a geofence and you're on an app. What happens is we have a bidding system. So that app, we will be bidding for space, and it would be a banner ad at the top, the middle, or the bottom of your phone, and it moves. So if you toggle it or look at it and you open it, then we have the right to basically follow you until you walk into that store for the 90 days.
Or tell us to go away.
Or and if you don't, you don't. But we can always target you again. But it's not on an everyday basis that we're targeting you all the time. It's just we bid for that space.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're all used to that. We join Facebook and click on something, and then you get all the ads about the fitness gear that you just looked at, and you get all fitness gear. It's just
so that's the actual problem with the Facebook inventory and the Meta inventory in general, is that it's a closed loop. So if you only like Ocasio-Cortez, you're only going to see silly stuff with her. If you only like, if you went shopping for a Stetson, which I like, I get Stetson and then ads for knives. So
knives and Stetsons,
and now sailboats, and now these giant yachts. It's such a weird combination. Whereas geofencing, it's more open. We're in, I don't know, 150,000 different websites and apps, so it's not monotonous, and it gives the end user, the consumer, a better experience. So if you go to Hot Yoga, then you're going to get an ad for a local hot yoga place. You're not going to get a million other ads from a million other hot yoga places. We're finding people that would be a local perfect match for your business, and we're identifying them and sending them to your business. And what's interesting about our proprietary technology is that we're able to identify ads and locations that we've drawn and ads that we delivered that are underperforming. So rather than spending $50 out of your $1,000 on geofences that don't work, or ad creatives that are not resonating, or websites that are not delivering you visits, we can see this in near real time, and we can identify where money is being wasted, and we can eliminate it immediately. But even if you don't go with us, which is totally fine, you should definitely do some sort of every door direct or some sort of location-based advertising, because really location-based advertising is way more democratic. It's way more free market, and it's way more affordable. Think about it. When's the last time you made, I don't know, $30,000? We had a $30,000 deal actually closed for one of our clients on a $1,000 ad spend. So
48,000.
I'm sorry.
Now 48,000. Yeah.
Our money.
There you go. It's a great ROI.
$1,000.
We've got a couple minutes left, but I love to ask this question for both of you. We'll start with the lady.
Okay.
You're going to have dinner. You've got a
Okay.
4-seat table. You occupy one of the seats. Dead or alive, who would you invite? Why? And what would you have for dinner?
Okay, that's a good question. I think one would be, of course, Ernesto. I think Steve, and then God. And I
Ooh.
would have lobster.
Lamb.
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay. Don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's yours. It's
Lobster,
yours.
lamb, because I like a surf and turf. And the other thing would be a dessert would be probably tiramisu. And then I would have probably, I'm trying to think of which wine do I want. I'd probably do Camus.
Nice. I love the specificity. Very cool. How about you, Ernesto? 4 seats at the table.
I would find the smartest high school or college dropout in America, the smartest one I can find. And I pepper them with that. So that's one. The smartest high school, smartest college dropout. I'd then have someone really good at economics and business. So probably Barbara.
No, somebody better than that.
And
I'm
then-
always learning that.
Hold on. And then I would have the founder of Electrico Mezcal, because I need to be
keeps the
hydrated.
end.
I need to be hydrated. And why I would select the high school dropout, the most brilliant high school dropout, and the most brilliant college dropout is because the most productive people do not graduate from college. The most successful people that I have ever met don't graduate from college. All the nuisances that I know have graduated from Ivy League and private colleges. I'm sort of fall into that. I went to an elite college. It was a total waste of money. But I could tell you that the brightest people in our country are these people that are bucking the system. I want to hang out with them. I want Barbara to manage the money. And I want Kathleen, the co-founder of Electrico Mezcal, to keep me sauced.
I love it. And what would you order real quick?
I would order salmon, definitely salmon. Probably Faroe Island salmon. I would have maybe some, I don't know, Italian vegetables, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I just live on salmon and bison, so I guess
you
salmon's
got to
for
do
everybody.
figs. If you're gonna go Italian, go figs.
Figs.
Yeah,
Well, you're going to be there, so you can help me plan the.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you both. This has been incredible. Hey, audience, reach out to them. Learn about geofencing. Learn about the power of this. Go ahead, real quick.
One quick thing is exclusivity. We give exclusivity to our clients in their industry for a certain amount of miles radius for when they work with us. So that way, and I forgot the other thing that I wanted to mention, but
That's all. We're faithful.
yes.
That's all you need to know.
First
If you
come,
take
first
us to the
serve.
prom, we're going home with you after the prom.
There we go. Well, thank you guys. And thank you, my
Thanks, Steve.
producers knocking on my shoulder. Let's we'll talk soon. And guys, reach out to these two. Barbara and Esther are awesome. You're going to definitely benefit from them. And we'll see you all next week, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Together we serve.